artificial intelligence. It seems like it's everywhere these days. But how much do we really understand about it? Maybe we should unpack this a little. The good, the bad, and the really mind-boggling stuff about AI.
It is interesting you say that. We are at a point where AI is poised to be as transformative as, the invention of the wheel
Hmm.
or electricity. Imagine the potential. What if we could just solve problems like climate change, cure
I
diseases?
know. It's the possibilities that get me so excited about AI. It really feels like we're right on the edge of unlocking solutions to some of humanity's biggest challenges.
Exactly. But alongside that incredible potential, there are definitely some serious risks. And one of the most pressing is, the potential for malicious use. What if AI capable of designing deadly pathogens gets into the wrong hands? That could be a global pandemic unlike anything we've ever seen.
It's a chilling thought, like giving a loaded gun to someone who doesn't even know what a gun is. But it's not just individuals, though, right? I mean, what happens when nations start competing in an AI arms race?
That's another huge concern. Imagine nations rushing to develop more powerful AI, prioritizing speed over safety. The consequences could be catastrophic. We've seen this kind of um, reckless pursuit of technology before, and it rarely ends well.
It feels like we're walking a tightrope. Incredible potential and real danger. What else should we be worried about with AI?
Organizational risks are huge too. Imagine a complex AI system controlling something like the power grid or, financial markets. What if a simple error or just a software glitch triggers a total failure? The consequences could be devastating.
So it's not just about the AI itself, but about the human systems around it. It's like building a skyscraper. You need a solid foundation and a team of experts to make sure it's going to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the scenarios we see in the movies? AI becomes self-aware and turns against us. How realistic is that?
The idea of AI becoming so intelligent it starts pursuing its own goals, potentially against humanity, is definitely something we should consider. It might not be killer robots, but it could be a subtle shift in control. Algorithms could manipulate markets or AI systems that prioritize efficiency over human well being.
Less dramatic, but even more insidious kind of takeover.
Precisely. And who controls AI is a huge question. Right now, AI development requires massive resources data, computing power, and expertise. This kind of concentrates power in the hands of a select few tech giants, wealthy individuals, and powerful governments.
So we're potentially setting up a system where those who already hold power could just use AI to make that position even stronger. What would that mean for, the rest of us?
Imagine a world where access to basic opportunities, education or healthcare, is determined by algorithms controlled by a powerful elite. Or a society where AI surveillance systems track our every move, stifling dissent, eroding freedoms. These are possibilities we need to work to prevent.
So it's not just about individual freedoms being at stake,
Yeah,
but maybe the very fabric of our societies. And it's not just one expert who is speaking out, right?
absolutely. There's a growing movement called Right to Warn. AI professionals demanding more protection to speak out about safety and ethics, even if it means challenging their employers. They recognize the dangers and are willing to risk their
That
careers.
takes serious courage. They're whistleblowers, but the stakes are even higher in this case. We're talking about potential threats to humanity itself.
Hmm.
So with all these warnings, what are some worst case scenarios? What could really go wrong if AI goes rogue?
It's natural to be drawn to the dramatic what ifs. like a super intelligent AI that we just can't control. It could manipulate us, exploit our weaknesses, or even decide we're, a threat to its own existence.
The classic machines taking over scenario. But are there other possibilities? Maybe less obvious, but just as terrifying.
Absolutely. What if a powerful AI gets into the wrong hands and is used to create a global totalitarian state? Constant surveillance, suppression of dissent, total control over information, a chilling vision of the future where freedom is just a distant memory.
It's like something out of a dystopian novel, but with the possibility of actually becoming reality.
And then there are economic scenarios, AI-driven automation could lead to mass unemployment, creating a huge chasm between the elite and everyone else. The social and political ramifications of that inequality would be immense.
Okay, but some argue that AI will, it'll create new jobs, new opportunities. What's the counter to that?
The problem is those new jobs may need specialized skills that a lot of people just won't have access to. Retraining could be too lengthy and expensive. We could see a world where AI benefits only a select few.
So it's not just about job losses, but about who actually benefits from the AI-driven economy. And then there's the ultimate worst case, existential threats.
Exactly. Scenarios where AI could trigger ecological collapse, accidental nuclear war,
Hmm.
or even develop goals that are in direct conflict with human survival. These are real possibilities we need to work to prevent.
This has been pretty intense.
Yeah.
But this isn't about fear-mongering, right? It's about understanding the risks so we can, take action.
You're right. We have to be aware of the potential downsides, but also remember the incredible potential benefits of AI. The key is to steer AI development in a way that benefits all of humanity. Yeah, it's easy to get lost in the doom and gloom, but don't forget about the incredible potential AI offers. I mean, it's kind of like fire, right? It can burn down your house, sure, but it can also keep you warm and, you cook with it. It all depends on how we use it.
Okay, I'm ready for some optimism. What are some of the areas where AI could make a real difference, a positive one?
Healthcare is a big one. AI can analyze, medical images, x-rays, MRIs, all that with incredible accuracy. It can really help doctors detect diseases way earlier and more effectively. Imagine personalized treatment plans based on your genes, your lifestyle, all that stuff.
So we're talking about AI helping us live longer, healthier lives. That's a future I can get behind.
Exactly. And it's not just about treatment either. AI can really speed up drug discovery, helping researchers find new cures for diseases that, have been around forever. We could see breakthroughs in cancer, Alzheimer's, all kinds of currently incurable conditions.
That's incredible. What about other areas like education or environmental protection? What could AI do there?
Those fields could be revolutionized by AI too. Imagine personalized learning, plans that adapt to each student no matter their needs or style. AI tutors available 24/7. Suddenly, quality education is accessible to, well, basically everyone.
So AI could democratize learning, break down those barriers, give everyone an equal chance. That's a powerful idea.
And for the environment, AI can help us track deforestation, monitor pollution, optimize how we use energy. It could even help us develop new technologies for carbon capture. Imagine AI predicting and mitigating natural disasters, helping to protect people and property.
It sounds like AI could be a serious game changer when it comes to climate change and those other environmental threats.
For sure. And there's more. AI could drive huge breakthroughs in agriculture. Optimize crop yields, reduce our environmental impact. AI-powered transportation systems could revolutionize logistics, less traffic, fewer emissions. Heck, even the arts could be transformed. AI helping us create whole new forms of music, art, even literature.
So AI isn't just about specific things, it's about changing how we live, work, interact with the whole world.
Right. AI amplifies our abilities, helps us solve complex challenges, but it's up to us to use it wisely.
That's the key, right? AI is just a tool. Like any tool, you can use it for good or for bad.
Exactly. And that brings us to ethics. How do we make sure AI benefits all of humanity, not just a select few?
Let's get into those AI ethics then. What are some key principles we need to think about?
Transparency is huge. We have to understand how these AI systems work, how they reach decisions, what data they're using. That's how we build trust and hold the people developing and using AI accountable.
No more black boxes, right?
Yeah,
We need to be able to, open it up and see how they're making decisions that could affect our lives.
exactly. And we need to make sure AI systems are fair,
No.
unbiased. That means being really careful with the data we use to train them and being very vigilant about any biases.
It's that whole garbage in, garbage out idea. If we train AI with biased data, well, we're going to get biased results.
Right. And we have to think about jobs and the economy. As AI automates more and more, what happens to the workers? How do we support them? Make sure AI benefits are shared.
So it's not just about AI doing no harm, but also about it helping us create a more just and equitable society.
You got it. And there are even bigger questions, like what if AI becomes conscious? If it can think, feel, do we owe it the same rights as any other being?
Those are some deep philosophical waters there. But we do need to grapple with these questions now before it's too late.
I agree. The future of AI isn't just going to happen to us. We're creating it right now with every decision we make. We have to be thoughtful, careful, and proactive in shaping that future.
We have to make sure everyone gets a voice in this.
Huh.
This isn't just for tech experts and, the people making policies. It affects everyone.
Absolutely. We need a global conversation about the future of AI, one that includes everyone.
Because the goal, ultimately, is to create an AI future that benefits everyone, not just a few.
Precisely. That's what we should be aiming for.
Okay, so let's zoom out a bit. What about the global landscape of AI? Who are the big players? And what does it mean geopolitically?
Right now, it's the US and China leading the charge. They're pouring tons of resources into research and development, attracting the top talent in AI from all over.
It's like a new kind of arms race,
Yeah.
but with algorithms instead of nukes.
That's a pretty good analogy. And it has huge implications for global power. Whoever controls AI has a serious advantage, economically, militarily, and, politically.
So the stakes are, well, incredibly high. But it's not just a two-horse race, is it? Other countries are also getting into the AI game.
Oh, absolutely. The European Union is investing heavily in AI research with a focus on ethical and trustworthy AI. And, countries like Canada, the UK, Japan, they're all emerging as major players.
It's a multipolar AI world taking shape.
Exactly, and that could be a good thing. A more diverse AI landscape could lead to more innovation, and it helps prevent any single country from getting too much control over this powerful technology.
So competition is good, but it needs to be balanced with cooperation.
Well,
What can we do to encourage more international collaboration on AI?
one big thing is setting shared ethical guidelines. If we can all agree on some core principles, it'll be easier to make sure AI is used for good and not for causing harm.
So, like a Geneva Convention for AI,
Yeah.
laying out the ground rules.
Yeah, something like that. We also need to collaborate on safety research. The risks are global, right? So the effort to address those risks should be global too. Sharing knowledge, expertise, that's key to making sure AI is safe and beneficial for everyone.
It's got to be a collective effort to ensure AI benefits all of humanity, not just a small part of it.
Exactly. And it's not just about governments or research institutions. It needs to be the private sector, academics, civil society, everyone working together to ensure responsible AI development.
That's a huge challenge,
Yeah,
but one we have to tackle.
I agree. The future of AI depends on it.
Okay, let's talk about one of the more controversial uses of AI. In warfare, how is it being used in the military already, and what are the ethics there?
AI is already being used for a whole range of military stuff. Intelligence gathering, surveillance, targeting, and even decision making. AI drones, for example, can do reconnaissance missions and even carry out airstrikes with a level of precision that, well, was just impossible a few years ago.
So it's making warfare more efficient.
Yeah.
But is that actually a good thing?
That's the question, isn't it? Efficiency in warfare always comes at a cost. One worry is that AI could actually increase the chances of conflict. If algorithms are making decisions about, when and where to use force, it could lead to escalation, maybe even an all-out war.
So we could have a situation where AI triggers a war that, that humans might have been able to prevent. That's a terrifying thought.
It's a real possibility. Then there are the concerns about autonomous weapons. The so-called killer robots. These are systems that can pick and engage targets on their own. No human input needed.
So machines deciding to kill on their own, that's some, like, science fiction nightmare stuff.
Right. It raises so many ethical questions. Who is responsible if it malfunctions and hurts civilians? Can we ever trust a machine to make, life or death calls?
Those are tough questions.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like there just aren't any easy answers.
You're right. That's why we need a global conversation about AI in warfare. We need clear rules, regulations, maybe even treaties to make sure AI is used responsibly and ethically in the military.
So no killer robots on a rampage wreaking havoc on the battlefield.
That's the goal. But it's going to take careful thought and a lot of international cooperation.
We've talked about how AI could revolutionize healthcare, education, the environment, even war. But let's bring it back down to earth for a minute. How is AI already impacting our daily lives?
AI is already all over the place, even if we don't always notice. It's what powers those recommendations you see on, Netflix, Amazon. It helps you navigate with Google Maps. It's what keeps all that spam out of your inbox. AI is even making our smartphones smarter, understanding our voice commands, anticipating our needs.
So AI is making our lives more convenient, more efficient, maybe even more fun.
In a lot of ways, yes, but it's also changing how we work. It's automating tasks in all kinds of industries, from manufacturing and, transportation to customer service and finance.
Which brings us back to job displacement. How do we make sure that AI creates more jobs than it eliminates?
That's a key challenge. We need to invest in education and retraining programs, help workers adapt to this new job market. And we need to think about new models of work, like a universal basic income, something that can provide a safety net in a world where AI is doing more and more of the work.
So AI is making us rethink Some pretty fundamental ideas about, you know, work and the economy.
That's right. And it's raising new questions about privacy and security. As AI collects more and more data about us, how do we protect that data from being misused? We have to prevent AI from being used for surveillance or, manipulating and exploiting us.
It seems like the more powerful AI becomes, the more important it is to have, some strong safeguards in place.
Absolutely. We have to be thinking about the ethical implications every step of the way.
Before we move on to the final part of our discussion, I want to touch on something I've been thinking about. We've talked about all the risks, the potential benefits, the ethical dilemmas, but what does it all actually mean? What's the most important thing our listeners should take away from this?
I think the biggest takeaway is that AI is like a mirror. It reflects our values, our hopes, and even our fears. The future of AI isn't set in stone. We are creating it right here, right now, with every decision we make.
So it's not about AI taking over, it's about using AI as a tool to create something better.
Exactly. We have a chance here, a chance to harness the power of AI to solve real pressing problems that are facing humanity. But we have to make that happen. We need to be informed, engaged, and proactive in shaping the future.
Okay, so we've talked about the big picture, but what about us? How is AI going to change our individual lives in the coming years?
That's the question we should all be asking. AI is already changing so much about our lives, often in ways we don't even notice. You know, those algorithms that personalize your social media feeds, or suggest products you might like, or even pick the next song you hear. That's AI at work. But those changes, that's just the beginning.
What kind of changes should we be getting ready for on a personal level?
Well, the workplace is going to see a huge impact. AI is automating more and more tasks, and that's only going to accelerate. Jobs that are repetitive, a lot of manual labor, or, data processing, those are pretty vulnerable.
We talked about jobs going away, but what about the jobs AI will create? What skills do we need to focus on if we want to thrive in an AI-driven world?
That's a really important question. The jobs of the future will need a whole different set of skills. Think about things that are uniquely human. Creativity, critical thinking, complex problem solving, emotional intelligence, and being able to adapt. Those are things machines, at least for now, can't really do.
So it's less about memorizing facts and more about, higher level thinking skills.
Right, and we'll have to be comfortable working with AI, understanding what it's good at and where it falls short. Good communication and collaboration will be crucial too. Teamwork, human interaction, that's going to become even more important in a world driven by AI.
It's interesting to think that AI will change not just what we do, but how we work, the whole nature of work.
Exactly. We might see a move toward more flexible work, project-based stuff. AI can handle the routine, repetitive tasks, and that frees us up to focus on more creative, strategic, or, interpersonal aspects of the job.
So AI could free us from the 9 to 5 grind, give us more control over how we structure our work lives.
It's definitely possible, but we have to remember AI will also bring challenges. We need to be smart about protecting our privacy, keeping our data safe as AI gathers more and more information about us. And we have to be aware that AI can be used to harm or manipulate us.
So it's not just about learning new tech, but also being informed, being critical thinkers, and speaking up for the ethical use of AI.
Exactly. It's on all of us to shape the future of AI, not just sit back and let it happen.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into AI, one big question keeps coming back to me. We've talked about the risks, the potential benefits, the ethical concerns, but what does it all mean? What's the most important thing for our listeners to take away from all this?
I think the most important thing to remember is this: AI is a mirror. It reflects our values, our hopes, even our fears. The future of AI isn't set in stone, it's something we are all creating right now with every decision we make.
So it's not about AI taking over. It's about using AI to build a better future.
Precisely. We have this incredible opportunity to use AI to solve some of the biggest problems humanity faces. But it's up to all of us to make sure that happens. We need to be informed, engaged, and proactive.
That's a really powerful thought. The future of AI is in our hands, and if you want to explore this theme further, check out the song Escape from the Prison Planet by Clutch. It's a pretty thought-provoking listen after everything we've talked about today.